Welcome, everyone, to Around the ACL. Michelle Thompson here with Trey Ryder and Jake Brannon. And we took a little break here in the off season, but we wanted to pop back in and give you an update on what's going on. And then we're going to take another break next week, and then we'll be all ready for the first open of the season the following week. So look for us then. However, we do have a lot to get into, a lot of pro partnership announcements. We got the schedule to review, kind of look at the season format, and then wrap it all up with some game time. But it's been a minute, Trey. How you been?
Yeah, good. Just the off season is definitely more chill in some ways, but busier in other ways, right? I mean, you're so event focused for months on end, just trying to figure out how to get to the next event and make sure everything goes okay. And then the off season is more of a planning mode. So yeah, it's been good. Things staying busy and seeing if we can make this next season the biggest and best yet. And I think we've done a lot of good progress there. So other than that, pretty good.
Yeah, well, usually we're not talking about the full schedule this early, so already doing really well. So that's good news.
Yeah, that's true. Yes, that was so we got that one right. There's one box check. We got a few more boxes we got to check, but the schedule at least starts that.
That's a great start. Jake, how you been?
I've been good. The month of September is always a little weird, right? Because I'm so used to the hustle and bustle of the traveling and the commentating life. But in September, everything comes to a complete halt. I haven't had to travel anywhere for these past couple of weeks, and it feels a little weird. But hey, I'm kind of itching to get right back into it. I looked at my calendar and I posted this on social media. Yes, but this past weekend, that one that just passed, was my last free weekend until Halloween. And then after Halloween, I have no free weekends until middle of December because of all the commentating and also the college tour stuff. And then there's a big tournament this weekend in Delaware that I'm going to, and I'll talk about in a little bit. And then I have a wedding to go to up in Portland, Maine on the 27th that I'm really excited to go to. They've never been to Maine before, so that'll be a lot of fun. So yeah, I'm enjoying these last few days of serenity and peace while I can, because I know it is only going to get crazier and crazier as the days and weeks progress. But hey, I'm chilling out. I'm having a good time. Glad to be here.
One, you got to make sure we haven't talked about what Jake is going to be driving around to all these different college tour stops. He's got a nice little wrapped Camping World Pro Tour RV that he's going to be driving all over the place. So that's number one. Number two, you got to have lobster when you go to Maine, Jake. You got to make sure you do it.
Absolutely. Oh no, I cannot wait. I know it's a big staple up there. I remember going up there like to the Boston, Massachusetts area when I was 16 or 17. I remember we stopped at a McDonald's to go to the bathroom, and I looked at the menu. They had a lobster roll at the McDonald's there, and I thought that was a little weird. So I knew they got.
I don't know if I'd do that. Don't do that. But
don't do that. No.
No, I'll get some real lobster. So I'm excited for that. It'll be a fun weekend. Nice little weekend trip up there. It'll be fun.
Well, it sounds like your travel is not all work, at least. You got some fun in there before you really dive into it. So that's good news. I also have some fun travel. I leave for Cabo on Friday. We normally go in October, but this year we moved it to September. So I'm really looking forward to a week in Cabo with Nick. And Rome will be going to my parents in LA for the week and spending some time with them. And yeah, it's going to be fun.
Michelle and Cabo, just that's your happy place.
Just the non-itinerary.
How many times have you been now? What number is this? You've been. I mean, it's got like almost.
Oh man, 10, I don't know. Right? We used to go every single year. We didn't go last year because we had so much travel, and the year before we swapped it out for Hawaii. But we've been every year for the last. So I would say maybe if it started 10 years ago, we've missed a couple years.
Dang,
been a long time.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's close, right? When you live in California, your flight to Cabo is 3 hours. So you can be at the pool by 2:00 on your travel day. So it's just nothing really beats that. Like if I go to Hawaii, it's 6 hours. That's a long flight. All right, let's get into it. We want to get started here with these new pro partnerships. I tried to catch them when they get launched on Facebook, but with that couple weeks off, I may have missed some. So if you guys see some that I didn't write, please shout them out. But the ones that I saw were Ethan Walker and Dave Morse Richard Nyberg and Colin Powers, Nico Morellis and Jeremy Schermerhorn, Zach Aiken and Jackson Gore, Jaden Ellis and Ryan Smith, Matt Wilson and Sarah Cassidy, and Devin Harbaugh and AJ Sims. Trey, give us your thoughts on this and then any that I may have missed.
Yeah. I mean, look, you're gonna. I don't think I haven't seen any that you that you didn't either. So all these ones were ones I was going to talk about. Two, obviously, the big ones I think, or at least the ones that pop off the screen to me first and foremost, is Ethan Walker and Dave Morse. For them to team up, I think this makes a lot of sense. I think both of them, have gotten pretty close over the years. They also share a spot on the pro committee for the past season, have some similarities in their game. And I think personality wise really kind of speak to one another's game. And I think that's really, really important. The thing that was always holding them back, for a lack of a better way to put it, was, a couple years ago, if these guys team up, you're saying, what is Walker doing playing with Dave Morse? But I think Dave Morse has really elevated his game. He continues to get better, even being one of the veterans of the game. And I think that's so hard to do, be someone that can adjust your game and keep getting better, even after years and years of being a part of it. And so because of that, I think he has elevated his game enough to match Walker. I still think this gives Walker an opportunity to kind of be the alpha of the team. And I think the team dynamic between him and Cody Henderson this year was just a little off. At times they played really well, but there were gaps in between where they didn't. Even so, I think this is a unit that can play really well together. They're going to have some bad chemistry, I think. And so because of that, this could be a team that could play better than even the sum of their parts. I wouldn't be surprised if this possibly is a top 10 team this coming season. I think they can really, really play at a high level. Two other ones that I want to point out, Zach Aiken and Jack Gore, really, really strong junior team here. I think Zach Aiken has a little bit of staying power, even though he is that, he is a younger player in that regard. And so sometimes you don't get that consistency year over year. I think Jackson Gore is also, though, in the different phase of his game to where he's now, he's got as tall as he's going to be. As I always like to say that height is going to affect a U18 player. So because of this, I really think they could be a top 5 team even. Now, I did see some worry when it comes to the health of Zach Aiken's wrist towards the end of last season. Had a chance to talk to him about it. He said rest is going to be the best thing for him. He doesn't need surgery on it. That can be both good and bad, right? If it's not something where there's a major issue that can be fixed, sometimes I worried if prolonged usage of a wrist, especially in a game like cornhole, can that really be an instance where that hurts Zach Aiken in the long term? So that's one concern that I have. Last team I want to talk a little bit about, obviously, I think the biggest powerhouse team of these announcements thus far, Devin Harbaugh and AJ Sims. I really, really like this team dynamic. I think they both have a fire. And I think what we saw from Harbaugh and Ellis this past season was one that you needed that kind of complementary attitude between the two players. There was just something that never clicked between the two of them, which was just a little bit disappointing. They were never able to play together at the highest level at the same time. Now, playing with AJ Sims, again, these are two veterans, two players that have a lot of experience, and I think they have a similar level of fire that they can instill in one another. And now the biggest adjustment, I think, is going to be for AJ Sims. He's going from kind of this mentor role of Braden Wilson, kind of bringing him up in the game. And even though Braden Wilson at times could be the better player, it always felt like Sims was the leader. What I really want to see here is when you have two personalities like Harbaugh and Sims, how do they work together? Are they able to both be leaders of the team? Is one going to take a step back? I think, to me, that's the most interesting of the team dynamics to look for.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And you all know how I felt about the Ethan Walker, Cody Henderson team. Not a fan of the chemistry. I do think Walker and Morse make a lot of sense. Zach Aiken's wrist is a concern. Completely agree with that as well. I wonder if he's looking into PT, into myofascial release, into stretching, into the things that can prevent issues even with rest that doesn't reoccur this season. If you don't know I'm talking about, Zach, reach out. I'll help you out. And then Devin Harbaugh, AJ Sims, I think they match on vibes. I think those vibes will
Yeah.
make sense. They're positive people. They both really appreciate the mental side of the game. The issue to me with Jeremiah Ellis and Devin Harbaugh was that Jeremiah Ellis, he's a social butterfly. He's going to be out drinking in the night, having fun, having a great experience. And that's totally fine, but that's not Harbaugh's weekends, right? That's not how Harbaugh treats an opener signature. He told me, I go to bed early. I need my sleep. And I just wonder if that ruined the chemistry a little bit. Whereas with Ellis and Hart, they had a very similar vibe on how they spent the weekend. And that really worked for them. So I do like this matchup better than that. All right, Jake, what do you got?
Yeah, no, I agree. I actually, the three teams that I highlighted when I was writing down my notes are the exact three teams that Trey talked about. So I'll pivot a little bit, but real quick, David Morse, and Ethan Walker, they may be my favorite of the list that we have in front of us on these new teams. I love them a lot. Ethan, like Trey mentioned, coming off of a pretty lackluster double season with Cody Henderson, and meanwhile, David Morse. This will be kind of really the first year in the pro division that David Morse will have a doubles partner that is significantly better than him. So I am really curious to see how that dynamic plays out with Morse and Walker. I already got to see a little bit of a preview with them at Spencer McKenzie's. They made it to the king seed in their bracket before getting double dipped by Eric Davis and Jamie Graham, who are.
Uh-oh. I said that in unison. Jake?
Hello?
Okay, you're back.
You're back now. Go for it.
Oh man, I don't know what I missed, but no, Morse and Walker, very good performance at Spencer McKenzie's to throw down before getting double dip. So you can already check off a strong performance there. Can they continue that into the pro season? I have no doubts as to why they shouldn't, right? I think they're going to be great. Meanwhile, I do also love Aiken and Gore. I'm a little concerned on the bag company, right? Because the bag company cornhole scenario, not at all what we had predicted them to pick. So hey, but chase that bag. That's what I'm saying. I think they're a top 10 team for sure. I'm actually really interested in this Richard Nyberg, Colin Powers team, right? Two players from the West Coast. I feel like they're not going to be talked about a lot this season, but Richard Nyberg with an incredible season last year. Colin Powers kind of flew under the radar. He had a very good second half into the World Championships. I like this team a lot. I don't think we're going to be talking about them at all, at least at the start of the season, but that would not surprise me at all if they end up being a top 15 team as well. And then obviously Devin Harbaugh, AJ Sims, you got to talk about them for a second. I will admit I was a little skeptical about them when they first came out. I made that emergency press conference that I posted on social media, and I kind of said in the 13-14 range for them. And after reading some comments and then actually starting to think about how they would do, I kind of want to go back on them and say that they may be a top 10 team after all, right? But I think, Trey kind of hit the nail on the head. It's going to come down to that chemistry, right? AJ Sims, these past 2 years, was working as a mentor, more that role model for Braden Wilson, guiding him through a lot of those decisions, being that A player, even if he wasn't the best at all times. But now you're playing with Devin Harbaugh, who is statistically one of the best pros in the division. How is that chemistry going to work out? Is that going to help AJ Sims or hinder him when it comes to these decision-making abilities? Who knows? Another thing I want to talk about is Jaden Ellis and Ryan Smith, right? Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Trey. This is not a top 100 team, is it? Is it just a regular field of 325 pros, correct? Or am I wrong?
I will have to. Who? Jaden? You said Jaden Ellis and Ryan Smith?
Yeah.
No, Ryan Smith did get in.
He did get in. Okay, so it is okay. It is a top 100 team then. And that changes everything for me, right? Because I assumed that they were going to be the field of 325 pro division, which would have made me assume that they were going to smoke everybody in that field. But now you put them into the top 100. Interesting dynamic, right? Because these are two players that you didn't necessarily think or assume were going to be together this season. So my next question is, how did these talks come about? Who initiated the first response? Why do you want to play together? Ryan Smith also leaving longtime pro partner Ryan Wiedenfeld. Now, what is Wiedenfeld going to do? Now, I've heard some rumors as to who he's going to play with, but nothing's finalized yet, so I won't talk about it. But that team interests me a lot. Jaden Ellis, Ryan Smith. I don't know if it's more of an improvement for Ryan Smith than not, but it is definitely an improvement for Zach Aiken coming up for this season.
For Jaden Ellis, yeah. So, and I do. We didn't mention Nico Morellis, Jeremy Schermerhorn. Similar vibe, right? I think that team works. No idea what their performance will be, but I think that the chemistry will be there. And then Matt Wilson and Sarah Cassidy's a big old question mark for me. Sarah, really
Yeah.
quiet. I mean, I have no idea how that's gonna go, but looking
Yeah,
forward to it.
just give people an insight. Like, I mean, with the staff, you guys know we use Slack, right? And so, not many times do I get a Slack message from internal people within the company of like, what happened here or something like that, right? Because everybody's pretty up to speed. But when Wilson and Cassidy came through, I remember getting a Slack like, what? Did anybody see this coming? So that was, I don't see any reason why it doesn't work. There's nothing
Yeah.
that alarming. It was just, for me, it was just a big surprise, just not something I anticipated.
Out of left field a little bit, but both BG, right? So I mean, at least they were last year. No, I don't know. Did they say they were BG? I can't remember now, but
Yeah,
that's
BG.
that's the only thing that I could see that they had in common. Okay, let's move on to our schedule. I'll bring it up on the screen here. This is the graphic that we posted, maybe it was last week or the week before, on the American Cornhole League Facebook page and etc. So go ahead and check that out if you want to. And I believe it's up on the website as well, correct, Trey?
Yep,
All right, so
both places.
the ACL.com. You can check out the schedule there. But we have it here. So this is going to be our opens and our signatures. You can see that we've got some West Coast stuff towards the end of the season. We do have New Mexico coming up at the end of this year, but revisiting some places, checking out some new places. Trey, anything you want to point out there on the schedule?
Yeah, no, I think it's great. One, to have it all out, ahead of time, I think is great. It's something that we really wanted to prioritize for this season to make sure everybody can make those travel plans. And I think, yeah, hitting some of the big locations, right? Couple of call outs for me. First, I usually don't do a lot of commentary at opens, but I'm going to be doing the first two opens. I'll actually be doing commentary. So I'll be here in Rock Hill alongside none other than Jeff McCarriger. It's me and Jeff doing the first open of the year, since Jake will be off gallivanting across the Southeast on the college tour. So I'll be on that one. And then you guys know me. Anytime I get a chance to go to the Orlando area, I'm going to take it. So I'll be doing Winter Haven alongside Jake, which will be really cool. But some great locations. Winter Haven's always good. Richmond, Virginia is going to be a big one. Everybody hold your breath. Going back to Cleveland, Ohio, for those that have been with us for years and years, the big cancellation of 2020 for the first time ever. 5 years it took us to recover from this. 5 years. Finally gets an event booked in Ohio. I know people are really, really excited to see Tiverton back on the schedule, as Rhode Island was one of our biggest events ever a few years ago. Tried to spread the love a little bit. People are like, what are you guys doing? Come back. So we're back there in Tiverton. And then one of my favorite places across the country, I don't like to pick favorites, but actually two of them really, Fort Worth and Mesa are some of my favorite places to go. So having those back on the schedule. Obviously the signatures will be the big events for the pros, but really excited about where we're going throughout the entire season this year.
How about you, Jake?
I'm having a blast. The only thing I'm a little salty about is I love being able to drive to events, right? And looking at the schedule, two of the first three that are, for me personally, drivable, in Rock Hill and Richmond, I won't be able to attend because I will be on the road at the college tour. So I'm not mad about it, just a little bit. No, but looking at the schedule, it is so fun. I've been to 38 states so far in my young life. So being able to cross off a couple more states, I'm looking at you, Kansas City. Never been to the state of Kansas before, so I'm really excited to check that out. Looking through, I've driven through Memphis, Tennessee. I got to see that giant Pyramid Bass Pro Shop. That is the only thing I am looking forward to when we go to Memphis is being able to check out that place, right? No, but that is going to be an incredible
barbecue.
Venue. Yes, and the Memphis barbecue, right? But looking back at it, going to Albuquerque the beginning of December, I just booked my flight for that yesterday. So I'm excited to go back to Albuquerque. That was a really fun place to hit up. Winter Haven, never been to Winter Haven. All right, but it's Trey's second home away from home in that Orlando area. So I'm excited to figure out what we got going on down there. an event in Las Vegas is always going to be fun. I actually just went out to Vegas a few weeks ago and experienced Fremont Street for the first time ever. Guys, that place is insane. So I'm excited to spend an entire weekend out there commentating cornhole and also getting out to check that place out. Another big one, Tiverton, Rhode Island. That has been one of my favorite places to go for years and years. It's only about a 5.5-hour drive from my house. The people up there are so incredible, not only good at cornhole, but also very friendly. And that place that we play in the Tiverton Sports Center was one of my favorite venues we've ever played at. So I'm excited to check out there. I'm excited for another trip to the Pacific Northwest in Washington. And another big one, Fort Worth, Texas. And I know, Trey, you mentioned it. I know you've forgotten about it by now, but I have not forgotten about this. The fact that you said you went to a Michelin star barbecue restaurant in Fort Worth, Texas.
Yep.
I have not forgotten those words that you said to me since we've left Fort Worth, and I cannot wait to get back there June 5th through the 7th just so I can try a Michelin star grade restaurant.
I will make sure that we go there when we go back. And we will take photos and we will have a grand old time and make sure that everybody gets to experience it that wants to, that goes.
Jake, were you not at the D Hotel in Vegas? On Fremont Street? What was that?
Nope, I was not at that event.
Oh my goodness!
Why weren't you at that event?
Because I think it was like Allison and I split the last 4. She went to Vegas and I believe New Orleans, and I got to go to I don't even remember where I went, but I was like, how am I missing out on Bourbon Street and Fremont Street? I got the short end of the stick.
For the record, didn't miss out because that's when I had a mental breakdown because we stayed at this hotel on Fremont Street and it was so this band was so loud that you could not sleep. And it was 1:00 in the morning and I was in the fetal position sobbing, shaking because I was so tired and I couldn't sleep. And then Nick, thank God, was there with me and went and found me earplugs somewhere. And I finally went to sleep, but I was having a panic attack. So
I'll never forget when I go in to check into the hotel, because I was on a little bit later of a flight than everybody else. I just someone said, make sure you ask for a high floor. I'm like, what the hell does that mean? EDM festival. So and I got the 18th floor, which was about halfway up, and I could still hear it pretty.
I was 20-something.
Well.
I was way up there, and it sounded like the band was in my room. They were in my room. It was that loud.
What hotel were you guys at?
The D. We were at the D.
Is that where we are this year? Is that where the venue is at this year?
I don't know what the hotel is this year. I think we're actually going to be on the Strip this year. Instead of on Fremont. So yeah, Fremont, fantastic. I'll just say this much about Fremont. At first, before that trip, I was like, I'm a Fremont guy. That's where I want to be. And then I spent 5 days on Fremont, and I'm like, no. I'm a Strip guy that likes to go to Fremont 1 or 2 nights and then leave Fremont. So
brutal.
It's so brutal. Stark difference.
Oh my goodness. I will be forever scarred from that weekend. So let's move into the season format. Trey's going to talk to us a little bit about that. And then just a reminder that memberships are live. So all that information is out there. But yeah, Trey, tell us what we're looking forward to.
Yeah, so first and foremost, I figure we go through kind of the pro division, the pro structure, and how things look for this season. So different from last season, going kind of a little bit back to the roots. I know everybody always talks about the big travel commitment. Well, this time, no big travel commitment. So last season, opens counted towards pro points. Signatures also counted towards pro points. This year, none of that. Okay, we're going back to just the 6 signature events, the best 4 performances at those 6 signature events. That makes up the entire Pro Tour standings across the year. Also means we're going back for the opens. Pros can play with amateurs at the highest level, and it's kind of back how the roots of opens used to be, which is great. There's still the rounders. There's still divisions and skills and things like that nature. But pros this year, just the Pro Tour events will happen at the signature events, which releases a lot of that burden for the top players in the world. And so, that's a big difference this year. I think for the pro, the good news is bringing back the challenger brackets. The challenger brackets were something that people loved at the World Championships. You have to do well enough in the regular season in order to qualify for the final bracket. of the Pro World Championship. And if you don't, you can compete in these last chance qualifier brackets that we call the challengers to get into those final few spots. And I think everybody raved about that format across the World Championships, and it was something that people were really, really excited about. So that's really the Pro Tour. Prize money for the signatures is doubled, which is really exciting, going from $50,000 to $100,000 per signature event, and a $300,000 World Championships really makes this, some high payout opportunities for the best players in the world at the biggest events, which is really, really exciting and what we want to continue to lean into. On the amateur side of things, some really exciting things. First and foremost, skill level divisions are no more. The new CPI metric is going to lead all of the different tiered systems or tiered divisions across opens, regionals, state events, even the World Championships. And so if you log into your player profile, you don't see a CPI in there, that means you got to start playing in more events, right? Especially at the World Championships, there was always this fear of people not playing in a minimum number of events. New rule this year, you got to play in enough events to get a CPI within your player profile. If you don't, you have to play the highest tier at the World Championships, right? That makes it a lot simpler and easier for everybody. This new CPI metric takes into account your PPR, your DPR, and your win-loss record across various events. The bigger the event, the more it's worth to affect your CPI. So open events are going to influence them much more than your local blind draw on a Tuesday or Wednesday. So really excited for CPI to be embedded, and that allows people to fluctuate throughout a season. Look, if you aren't playing well, you drop down into a different division. If you start playing well, you go up into a new division. It really takes the discretion of the director out of it. He or she sets the skill levels for all the different divisions, and your CPI will tell the story of what division that you play in. And I think that's really, really important as people continue to find their way, and also incentivizes people. Make sure you play in enough events to get that CPI metric, right? Play in the local events, play in the regional events in your area in order to start to get that ranking. In addition to that, really excited this year for the player engagement program. Again, this is simply, hey, if you participate in events, you earn points. Doesn't matter if you come in first place or last place. If you earn enough of these player engagement points, you are eligible for certain prizes. And so things I'm looking at here, you earn 100 points, you're entered into an apparel giveaway. If you get 150 points across the season, entered into a bag giveaway. If you get 300, you're getting in a special $5,000 tournament at Worlds, only open to those people that get 300 or more points. If you get 400 points, you're going to get a jersey free of charge to you if you get enough points. 500 is going to get you a VIP experience at Worlds. You'll get recognized at the Stevie Awards if you get 600 or more points. And if you get 700 or more player engagement points, you're going to get a free set of ACL boards, right? Just shipped right to you, no cost at all. I mean, that's what's really, really cool. And so literally just by playing in ACL events, you're going to get an opportunity to earn those prizing, which is really, really special. That also happened last season, but I don't think enough people were familiar with it. I really want to lean into it this year. The brand new thing that is this season is the new Open Standings Challenge. And what is really, really cool is on the Open Challenge, what this means is we're bringing back Open Standings. So people that missed Open Standings, we're bringing all of those back. And everybody that is ranked 1,000 or higher is going to get some level of benefit through Open Standings. So if you're at home saying, well, I can never finish as the number 5 player in my state. Okay, here's your new goal. Finish in the top 1,000 within the country. That is an attainable goal no matter what your skill level is, okay? And so really what this means is the top 100 pros can't get any of these benefits. So if you're also thinking, well, the pros are going to knock us all out of the way and they're going to get all these benefits. Top 100 pros are not able to get any of these incentives. If you finish in the top 1,000, you're going to get entry. You're going to get entry into a drawing to win a free entry into the Throwdown by Spencer McKenzie's. one of the best tournaments of the year, if not the best tournament of the year. If you finish in the top 250, you're going to get a jersey. We are literally going to ship a jersey to your house, and you can wear an Open Challenge jersey, which is really cool. Top 100, you're going to get a set of bags, okay, in Open standings. Top 50, you're going to get entered into a drawing to go to an ACL Open. Top 20 is going to get free entry into all 6 Opens the following season. And number 1, whoever finishes number 1 in Open standings gets an Open Player of the Year special package. There's just a lot of cool things. So really what this system this year is meant to incentivize is people to play in ACL events, buy a membership. You have to be a platinum member to be eligible for these. So the call to action here is this year's, especially with the launch of the new technology app coming in January of 2026, which is a really, really exciting upgrade to our technology. This is the year that you want to buy a membership. You want to get directors near you running events, get your CPI up, get your player incentive points, get your Open Standings Challenge points. There's so much incentive this year as a non-pro player to play in the ACL. And I'm telling you, this is the year, if you haven't in previous seasons to get involved, this is the year to do it.
Yeah, I think it's really important because the ACL has kind of been positioned to only really care about the pros, right? And I think that was an important start. We had to build the league and have this really high level of play and a place for these people to have a big stage. And that's been done now. And I like the shift of the focus now to the rest of the players, the people out there playing. I brought the membership information up on the screen here. So you see Trey was just talking about that platinum level. That's $100 and that's a season, Trey.
Yes, this is for the entire season. Yep.
Okay, perfect. So $100 a season gets you to have availability and all those things that Trey just mentioned. And but there are other levels as well. You can see the different benefits at the ACL.com. I just clicked on the what was it? Learn about cornhole. Start playing. Play cornhole. Get started. There we go. Yeah. Get started, and then
look. And if you buy a platinum membership and you message me and tell me you bought a platinum membership after listening to this, I will make either myself or Jake give you a shout out on a live stream this before the end of the year. So here's your extra motivation. And I'll even make Jake say nice things about you.
Yeah, maybe.
We don't even do shout outs in the live stream. That's how special that is.
Love it.
All right. Anything to add there before we move on, Jake?
No, I mean, he hit the nail on the head. This season's going to be incredible. I cannot wait. Like, legitimately, like, I'm getting goosebumps right now because I cannot wait. This season's going to be so cool.
So nerdy. You're so nerdy.
Shut up. Let me be a nerd.
Is there a certain time memberships close, Trey? They need to get that in by?
No, they're available all season. And look, it's the ACL has invested a lot this past year, a lot of money, more so than they ever have before, specifically on memberships, specifically around technology. That was a big thing, and I know not everybody was able to, but for those that missed it, the ACL held some like informational sessions at the World Championships where they went through the new app that's coming out for the ACL, and it's going to be super easy to use. It's going to allow you to find new events, buy memberships, do all these different things, and run tournaments at the click of a button directly from your phone. If you're a director, there's just a lot of cool elements that are going to be upgraded and make it easier for people to use. And I know that has been what people have been clamoring for. And so I think this is just a really good step in that direction.
Yeah, definitely excited. That comes out 2026.
Yeah, January 26 is a current release date for that. Everything will be integrated, so it's not like you'd buy a membership now and it won't be valid when the tech comes out. It's all still going to be integrated. So buy your membership now, get involved, start accumulating those PEP points, start accumulating those points towards the Open standings, and make sure you pass Jake in the standings. I know he's going to try to get as high as he can, but sometimes
I'm going to be number one. You're going to. I can't wait to see your face when you hand deliver me that number one player package,
VIP package, a diamond package, and gets his shout out at the Stevie Awards. Oh, geez, I don't know. We can't handle it. That's not going to work for me. All right, let's get into game time. We are going to start off with 4-bagger and floor bagger. So top moment and low moment of the week. Jake looks like he's ready to go. I'm going to start with you.
Yeah, I'm gonna let Trey. I'm gonna give Trey a little bit of a break. I'm gonna go on a little bit of a tangent here for my four bagger. My four bagger this weekend. Cannot wait. It is the Paradise Grill tournament in Delaware. It is the biggest cash tournament on the East Coast. $25,000 or more in payouts. Shout out my guy Mike Napier and Delaware Cornhole running it. Actually, when you sign up for your ACL membership, you can select Mike Napier as your director. Give him some bonus points for that as well. Mike Napier, Delaware Cornhole, Paradise Grill Tournament. It's at a huge restaurant right on the beach. So we have about 15, 16 sets of boards on the beach. 200 teams are registered. Whole bunch of ACL pros are going to be there. Let me talk about them. How about the first big tournament for Gavin Cano and Logan Chamberlain? They're playing together in that. How about how about Devin Harbaugh and Ryan Windsor teaming back up and playing together? They won this tournament a few years ago. Love that team. Gage Landis playing with Alex Rawls. That's a good team as well. Keep an eye on that one. How about Ryan Smith playing with Logan Dupler? That'll be a fun one. How about Tony Smith playing with Jacob Trzynski? Keep an eye out for that team. Colin Hodette playing with Austin Kipple. How about Storm Hogue playing with Jimmy Humans? How about Jackson Gore and Colton Faust? Jacob Gore and Braden Berry not playing together. Greg Poulos, Peyton Mister. Let's see, Nick Leeper, Ian Stokel, a whole bunch of other good teams. How about Luke Bryant and Josh Quinn will be in attendance? How about Anthony Eastridge and Gabriel Clausen will be in attendance? How about me playing with Justin Stranger in attendance?
Yeah. Just right there, same level. Just right in with the other group.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Justin Stranger has been on a little bit of a heater. He went through that pro qualifier.
That's top 100 pro Justin Stranger. Thank you very much. And a whole bunch of other incredible teams that are going to be there. 200 teams, over $25,000 in payouts. I believe last year first place got $15,000 for first place. So it is going to be just an absolute blast. That's my four bagger. And my floor bagger low moment of the week will be the obvious inevitable hangover that I have from that tournament, because the Orange Crushes are going to be flowing all day long at Paradise Grill. It's going to be an absolute blast. I am not driving when I get there. I'm giving my keys to my friend. I am saying, here you go, have this. I'm going to have about 55 Orange Crushes on the beach.
You cannot sustain a day on Orange Crushes. That is not how life works. No.
I'm not trying to sustain the day. I'm trying to have fun, Mish. I don't need to remember it.
Alive alert. I mean, no. You gotta introduce some water or some water beer somewhere in there. It's not gonna work.
Maybe one or two, but water beer.
Right.
But that is my four bagger and floor bagger. It is all about Paradise Grill, big tournament where I just bought the Airbnb that we're going to be staying in for the weekend right before we hopped on here. So it's going to be a blast. I hope you guys are ready for it, because I'm going to be talking about it a lot.
Any streaming happening?
I don't know if we're going to. It's hard because they have speakers in there that are so loud, and the owner refuses to turn it down for a live stream. So I think
I like the vibe.
We tried to do it last year, and it lasted about 30 seconds before we got copyrighted on Facebook, and they shut it down. So we said, we're okay. So it's a live in the moment type of event, Mish.
I'm good with that. I love that. All right, Trey, what you got?
All right. I'll stick both we're doing four bagger for, oh no, both. Okay. So both are football related for me. So four bagger for me, fantasy football, most points scored in the ACL staff league this week. I'm just saying, I'm now 1-1, so 137 points. I was getting ready to roast Jamar Chase if he did not figure it out in week 2. He figured it out in week 2. I just have one bone to pick. Colts, stop giving the ball to Daniel Jones at the 1-yard line. Jonathan Taylor needs to be getting all of those touches. But head-to-head this week against Victoria and Alicia from our team. So trying to stay focused here, trying to go 2-2. So big win here. Low moment of the week, Clemson football is dead. So they are dead, and it makes me sad. So normally I go to these games like really excited and optimistic. The one that I go to this weekend, I'm just going to go there to indulge, eat some good food, drink some good beer, and watch my dumpster fire of my college football team. So
you can't always be good, right? That's not really how it works.
No, but they were supposed to be good, which is what it just not.
Yeah, what
not
happened? You guys were a top 10 team 2 weeks ago. Now you guys are losing to Georgia Tech.
Cade Klubnik stinks right now. He just absolutely stinks, right? I mean,
Oh, goodness.
I don't know. They're just dead.
You better get yourself together for that SMU game, because I know a certain Camping World RV will be in attendance at that game, and I want a good performance.
I will get you. I'll make sure you guys get tickets to go into the game. But I'll tell you this much: it's not going to be pretty. I'm not promise. I can't promise a clean, good game. I just can't do it. So at least the tailgating will be the best that you go to. I promise.
Ooh, there we go. He promises.
Tailgate champions of the world. I can borderline guarantee that.
Got to have some kind of award, right?
All right.
Jake, send it or board it. Something that we can decide if we go for it or not.
Yeah, so I was thinking about this for actually a significantly long, like a disturbingly long amount of time before I figured out what to do. I wanted to do something based on an area and an event that we were going to this year. It was like in Memphis or in Vegas, like what could we do? I decided on Myrtle Beach, and I was Senator board it. How about you're walking around Broadway at the beach or Myrtle Beach, you see those signs for those sketchy $25, $30 helicopter rides around Myrtle Beach. Would you guys ever do one of those? A $30 helicopter ride around Myrtle Beach?
No.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. $30?
No.
Like helicopter crashes are like plane crashes statistically are like not common at all. Like people freak out about plane crashes, but they're actually not a legitimate concern. Helicopter crashes are. Like people who fly helicopters don't know what the bleep they're doing. So I am 100% out on anything helicopter ride related. I can promise you that.
I wouldn't do it for $1,000. I don't know. Absolutely not. Don't put me in a helicopter.
I think if I had a trained professional, I don't know. It's kind of hard, right? Because give me a parachute on my back, and I'll be fine. Like if something happens, I can jump out. I'll be good to go. But I don't know. This thing,
that's the compromise there. Would you get in a hot air balloon? You couldn't pay me to get in a hot air balloon.
Oh, I would.
No, I wouldn't get one of those. No, absolutely not.
Do a hot air balloon in a hot. Because you're with one of the guys who knows how to operate a hot air balloon. Heck yeah, that's sick.
No, Jake.
But you guys would ride roller coasters?
No, who wants to be in a hot air balloon?
Oh, roller coasters are great. You're connected to something. Like it's
you're also not suspended in the air.
What do you think? You're just gonna soar up into the sky and go into outer space? No,
but you're gonna end up 30 miles down the way if the wind pattern changes.
Exactly. Just in no man's land.
Yeah.
Oh man, Trey, what do you got for Senator board it? We both boarded that. No.
Yeah, no, we're in no way, shape, or form ever doing a hot air balloon. Okay, Senator board it. I think I know which way both of you are going to go with this, but sports hate watching, meaning you are only watching a game because you absolutely hate one of the teams, and you don't even care who the opponent of the team you hate is. You're just all of a sudden an avid fan of whoever that is.
Like you're saying, I would do it, but I would choose like if you're like, would you sit down on a Sunday and do that versus, go on, do something really fun? No, I'm going to board it. But like, if I'm just wanting to relax, then yeah, that's like a fun way to spend a few hours.
Like Jake, do you ever sit down and say the Steelers are playing the Dolphins, and I am the biggest Tua Tagovailoa fan in the history of the world for the next 3 hours?
Absolutely, 100%. It's not even it's easier. I'll say it's easier on a schedule like week 1 when the Ravens played on Sunday night. So I don't really have anything that I want to watch in the 1:00 games, but I know the Steelers are playing, so I'm going to sit and root against the Steelers, right? The same thing goes for Cleveland. Same thing goes for Cincinnati. Anybody, if my division rivals are playing, I am 100% rooting against them no matter what. Now, the topic of conversation comes up. If the Steelers are playing like the Cowboys, I hope either the game ends in a tie or a meteor comes down into the stadium and blows everybody up. So those are my only two
Wow.
Meteor games.
There's
I'm
always
familiar with meteor games.
If that
meteor games
happens, you're
happen.
gonna feel really bad.
Yeah, well, yeah. If a meteor comes down and blows up a Steelers Cowboys game, I will feel pretty bad. Yeah.
You're gonna feel so bad.
No, I'll send it. Yeah, for sure.
All right. Would you rather, Jake?
Would you rather? This is a good one. I looked a couple of these up, and this one was like the most philosophical one. I'm curious to see what you guys say here.
Okay.
Would you rather be able to forget your worst memory of all time, or remember your best memory of all time even better than you do now?
Oh, forget my worst memory. Like just that feeling kind of consumes you when you remember something. You kind of get that weird, like almost like embarrassed feeling, and you just like, I don't want to. Or depending on what the memory is, if it's like actually tragic, that's also like a gut wrenching experience. Like I'm gonna take that out of my mind, and then I'll stick with the good.
I'm gonna go opposite because I feel like I have a really hard time remembering joyful things. I have a really easy time remembering the bad things, but I like sometimes let that stuff go so quickly, and then I think it'd be really cool to be able to bring up that extreme joy whenever I needed to, and I don't know if I have that ability at the moment.
Yeah, I think I'm with Michelle on that one. Let me take a couple seconds and really think about it and remember like when I was happiest in my life, like, and allow that to pick me up whenever I need a little pick me up in the day. Absolutely.
I think that's harder to do, honestly.
Oh yeah.
All right, Trey, would you rather?
All right, definitely nut allergy or celiac gluten free. What would you rather be? So celiac is not going to kill you,
I
but
don't like
it's
nuts.
definitely. But a definitely nut allergy. You are like, you have to be so careful because like cross contamination now just doesn't give you a tummy ache. It's like sends you to the hospital. So there's there's extra risk.
Celiac.
That's
It's got
what
to be celiac. I
EpiPen's
can't
for.
die from eating bread if I'm celiac.
No,
So
but you can't.
You say you'd rather be gluten free.
Then accidentally eat a peanut and die? Yeah.
You won't die. There's an EpiPen.
Okay, well, on the off chance that I don't have my EpiPen with me or something happens and I run out of it. I like peanut-based things too much.
I do not. But that's easy for me. I can easily live without peanuts and have my EpiPen.
I'll easily live in fear. I'll easily live in fear.
Crazy.
I won't live in fear. I'll just be very organized and diligent and have some backup.
I don't know. It's one of my best friends is as a peanut allergy too, and every once in a while, just because we're assholes, we will just take. I have like a bag of peanuts for the squirrels in my sunroom. I'll just take one and just throw it at them. Just be like, oh, watch out, don't get hit. But
wow.
You won't actually, but it's
probably out friends like that.
We're friends.
Hot take, Trey. What do you got?
All right, this is kind of general, but obviously the ACL announced their licensing team owners for the next few ways. I have good news that we have enough team owners to have a season, which is really, really exciting. And based on these team owners that are coming in, I get to give a little bit of a tease here. Really, really excited for the path of the direction that teams is going to have. I think for the first time ever in the first season ever, there will be developing really big diehard fans of the team's format this season at the pro level based on how teams develops as a structure over the next year. I know it's very general, but I really, really am excited in teasing this because I think it's going to be a monumental step for the sport based on who some of these good team owners coming in from outside of the sport, which I think is really, really important.
That is important. Different perspectives. All right, Jake.
Richard Nyberg and Colin Powers will finish higher than Devin Harbaugh and AJ Sims in pro doubles next season.
Whoa.
Oh, wow. That's hot.
I need to pull this clip like right now so I have it ready. Because if that happens, oh my goodness.
AJ Sims already hates me, so it's all right.
You're going to look really, really smart if that happens. I'm going to go Nico Morales and Jeremy Schermerhorn. We didn't talk a lot about them. I'm going to put them in the top 20. I like the team. I think Jeremy had a good, strong end of last season. Nico's always been on the cusp. So top 20, boys. Go get it. All right. That's all we got time for. We will not see you next week, but the following week, getting ready for open number 1. See you then.